Hello, welcome to my presentation for CS50 cybersecurity. This is about the Medusa ransomware attack that attacked the Venezuelan telecommunications company Digitel. I will be narrating the presentation with a voice generator so that the narration is a little more fluid. My name is Jordi Skuchar, and in the next few minutes, we will explore one of the most significant threats in the current cybersecurity landscape, as well as analyze a real case that affected a major telecommunications company in Latin America. Before we start with the Medusa case, let's first go into important definitions to understand what happened. First, let's start with ransomware. This is a type of malware that has evolved significantly in recent years. Initially, these attacks simply encrypted data and demanded a ransom for the decryption key. However, today we face a much more complex scenario. The statistics are alarming. In 2023, 20% of all recorded cyber attacks involved ransomware. What is most worrying is the speed with which these attackers operate. Once they gain access to a network, it takes less than 4 days to deploy the ransomware. The average cost of a breach reaches $5.13 million, not including ransom payments. This has caused these attacks to go from simple encryption of the affected person's data to extortion tactics. One of the reasons ransomware has become so prevalent is the rise of ransomware as a service, or RaaS. This model has democratized cybercrime, allowing individuals without advanced technical knowledge to launch sophisticated attacks. The model works like a business. Developers create the malicious code and rent it out to affiliates, who execute the attacks. The profits are shared between both parties, creating a highly profitable criminal ecosystem. Okay, now we can start with the main topic. Medusa, which made its debut in June 2021, has become a prominent threat in the cybersecurity arena. This ransomware has distinctive features that make it particularly dangerous. Its attack method includes exploiting vulnerable remote desktop protocols and phishing campaigns. Once inside the system, it uses PowerShell to execute commands and systematically delete snapshot backups, making data recovery difficult. Now that we've touched on important definitions, we can begin with the case study. January 30, 2024 marks the beginning of the incident. In the first few hours, Digitel detected security threats and proceeded to preemptively block its servers. The recharge and balance inquiry services were immediately inactive, generating concern among its users. On February 1, the company made its first official statement, acknowledging that they had blocked customer service channel systems to contain the threat. By February 2, it was already confirmed that the Medusa ransomware had completely penetrated its network, encrypting all the information available on its servers. The attackers set a peremptory deadline, $5 million to prevent the publication of the data, with a deadline of February 11. A countdown was hosted on an Onion site, accessible only through the Tor browser, adding an element of pressure and drama. On February 12, when payment was not received, the hackers made good on their threat. They published the information in 2 compressed files of 4 GB each, which when decompressed reached almost 17.5 GB of data. The leak included sensitive information of individuals and legal entities, ID numbers, telephone numbers, occupations, and even business data. The impact was devastating. Digitel, which by 2020 had 8 million active lines, saw the information of millions of users compromised. Not only did they face an interruption of services, but a massive exposure of personal and corporate data. Prevention is key in the fight against ransomware. Basic measures include keeping software up to date, using reputable antivirus, and avoiding cracked software. The strategy starts with the basics, keeping all your software up to date, using trusted antivirus, and of course, avoiding downloading pirated software. These are simple steps that can make the difference between security and digital chaos. You can also use the 3-2-1 backup strategy, 3 copies of your data, stored on 2 different types of media, with at least 1 copy kept outside of your main location. It's like having an emergency plan for your most valuable information. But technology is only part of the puzzle. The real shield against ransomware is your team. Continuous training, creating a cybersecurity culture, phishing simulations, and clear response protocols are all critical. We need advanced detection systems, smart firewalls, multi-factor authentication, and network segmentation that makes it difficult for attackers to move around. It's not just about prevention, but about being prepared to recover quickly. Regular recovery testing, backups on immutable systems, monthly vulnerability scans and annual penetration assessments. The Digitel case has highlighted a worrying reality: the absence of a robust legal framework for data protection in Venezuela, making this country a lawless land, like in the Wild West. Although the Constitution establishes the right to the protection of private life, there is no specific law on the protection of personal data. A bill was approved in 2021, but is still pending enactment, leaving citizens and companies in a vulnerable situation in the face of these attacks. This case leaves us with important lessons. First, proactive prevention is essential. No organization is exempt from being targeted by an attack. Second, the need for updated regulatory frameworks is urgent to protect both companies and users. Rapid response to incidents and transparency in communication with affected users are crucial to minimize the impact of these attacks. Ransomware represents a constantly evolving threat that requires a comprehensive response, from technical measures to appropriate regulatory frameworks. The Digitel case shows us that no organization is completely safe and that preparation and prevention are essential. With this we can conclude the presentation. Thank you for your attention and I hope you enjoyed all the information presented.